Let's go.
Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, as you know, is episode 498 here at Tropical Nomad. Now, a few quick things I want to mention. So next week is episode 499. There will be a press conference here at Tropical Nomad, which you're all invited to. There'll be drinks, refreshments, media, a bit of fun. That will happen from about 5 o'clock-ish. So welcome to come, and then we'll be followed by an episode 499. It will be just a composite episode of people that have been on the show before, and it will be a hot seat mix and match. It will be fun. And then the following week will be episode 500. So for that episode, listen very closely. So we're not going to be at Tropical Nomad for that week only. We're going to be at PIB College, which is in Tabanan, right? Just as you go into Nuanu. There'll be 200 people. You are all invited, and it will be a very special episode in an auditorium in PIB. You have food, drinks, people, incredible guests, panelists. It will be a very memorable 500th episode. So watch out for that. Details go out next week. Make sure you RSVP as quickly as you can. It's free entry, and it's that will be a lot of fun as well. So moving to tonight's show. So as you can see, we have 3 people outside of me, and in a minute I will ask, I will say a few words. But as we mentioned last week, so this tonight is a very special episode because it's all about saving ancestral land. So now what that means and what are the important factors about it will be discussed tonight. There will be an opportunity for you watching online or in person here, if it's a cause or something you'd like to support in any way. That might be financial, it might be non-financial. There's many different ways to support, and there'll be an opportunity for you to do so. And if you're missing a contact point, please contact us here at SpeakuP Monday, and we'll pass that on as well. So I'm going to say just a few words here, and then we're going to go into tonight's show. So to save our family's ancestral land, episode 498. So in Bali, as you know, land isn't just dirt. It's the lifeblood of culture and family. So this heartfelt episode shares the real story behind one Balinese family's fight to save their ancestral land. So when COVID-19 brought Bali's tourism economy to a halt, thousands lost their livelihoods. For many, the land, the last tangible link to their ancestors, became collateral for survival. So Pande, Putu, Tomy, Verawan, who's sitting right next to me, co-founder of Dharma Ninja Imports, opens up about his father's story, which is Bapa. Katut. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for coming. And a man who took out a loan against their family land to create opportunity, only to be left betrayed, burdened, and facing the loss of their generational heritage. So now, but instead of surrendering to despair, Tony and his wife, which is at the end here that you would recognize as Tangelina, decided to turn their pain into purpose. So through Dharma Ninja Imports, they are preserving Balinese and Nepalese artistry, creating a bridge between cultures while empowering artisans and protecting heritage through creative enterprise. So now their step, establishing the Dharmasari Community Arts Center, a sustainable cultural space to keep traditions alive and ensure that families like theirs can hold on to their ancestral lands. So as I mentioned, after this show, there'll be different ways that you can support. You can be donating directly to dharmaninjaimports.com/donation. You can purchase handmade art at dharmaninjaimports.com, and that's again Dharma Ninja Import, Dharma DHARMANIJA Imports, and you can join the Hidden Gems of Bali retreat, an immersive cultural experience connecting travelers to real impact. Now, as you're going to see tonight, this is more than just a family story. It's a movement to protect the soul of Bali, its people, its culture, and the sacred connection to the land. Please, a round of applause, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we'll start with Tony here. Now, maybe I've given a bit of background here, but maybe you can share with us, number one, what is ancestral land to you? Because there were a few questions earlier on about what that is. So we'll start off with what is ancestral land? And the second part is, why is that important?
Okay, thank you very much, Robert, for your time. So, by the way, ancestral land is for us here. We have like a heritage from 1890s or something. Before the kingdom, the kingdom in Bali, we have like a lot of kingdom, and then we have a king, and then they have a sovereign, and then who's the loyal sovereign? And then they will the king gonna give piece of land because they loyal. They sacrifice them to the king family, and then that's why we have ancestor before, like maybe 2 or 3 ancestor in my family, and then they like heritage the land to our great grandpa, my grandpa, and then to my dad, and then now this gonna be going to me. That is the ancestor land in Bali, because we got it the land from a different aspect. Some people they buy it, some people they have a gift from the king. That's the ancestor land. And then why is so very important? Because future so very fast. Now it's like this road, for example, like a 20 and 18, or when I was teenager, it's like a lot of rice field here, and then now it's since 20 and 25 is like a lot of building, and then traffic is like so very quick to grow. And then I'm thinking why our ancestral land is so very important. I don't want our place in my village, for example, it's not gonna be like this. I want to keep access all the land in my village as much as possible. I can do it because I know like a industry gonna grow, food is gonna be needed in the future. If you don't have land in here in Bali, in my village or whatever, and then you cannot feed yourself, it's like you live in here in Bali, it's like a no value because you don't have land to planting your food, like to do something. It's like a lot of things you can do with your land, with your ancestor land. It's like that. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, brother. So then just to maybe summarize some of the points, because I've been to the land, I've been to your home, right? And maybe for the people not watching or not being here in Bali might not fully understand. I'm not saying that I do, but perhaps from a Western-ish perspective. So the land, so it's a bit like this. So you can say that it's land that's been in the family generations for generations, and it's passed down from one to the other, to the son, to the son, to the son. So that's one aspect of this ancestral land.
Yeah.
Another part of it, what you're saying is that, so typically the land, rice is grown. So rice is very important because once that rice is harvested, a percentage of it goes for subsistence. So it goes to feed the family. Another percentage also goes in for offerings and ceremony in the temple, which is also, and I'll get to that in a second, where you live, the compound in which you live, which is a very typical Balinese compound. You have everyone there. You have your parents, you have your cousins, you have everyone's kids.
A lot of people.
Right? So you go in through an outer layer, and each layer then has another, like it's like a home within a home within a home within a home. And it's a beautiful system because when I went in there, it's like I grew up in a kids' home. in children's homes in London for many years, and ours was like a home within a home within a home as well. So I felt like a warm connection. Everybody knows each other, everyone supports each other. It's a real nurturing experience. It takes it takes a village to raise a child. Everyone's raising your child. You can see over here that their child. So what I noticed in the hour or 2 hours I was there was like 3 or 4, 5 different sets of parents, right? Tending for your child. So when you say ancestral land and the importance of it, and the last point I'll add before we go back to you is that, maybe I'm from the UK. So in the UK, we have a system of healthcare, which I believe might be free. I've been there for 20 years. I don't remember now. So there's certain things that you're taken care of. Here in Bali, that system doesn't typically exist in the same way. So during COVID, for example, by having the land, then your kids that may have been into the city getting a job can always come back home and can at least eat, right? And have a life where they can survive and live, right?
Yeah, that's so very true. Like you have a place for stay, and then even you're not planting planting the rice or potato or whatever for your groceries in your house, but if you have a lot of family, for the example, like you have a 10 daughter and son, for the example, and then you need to grow your family, at least you building house in the same place, you can grow your family together there, and then we share everything. That's the important point. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that whole system, I think, is one that keeps Bali together, connected, where many other parts of the world become disconnected because they're not with their families, right? They're separated.
Yeah, because in Bali we still stay with our my dad, our family still stay like that, and then we still taking care of each other. When you have your brother and then you don't have enough room, and then you have land, you can let your brother or your sister building one piece of house there, and then you still stay together with your dad, with your family. That's why in Bali you can see one house, maybe it's maybe 10 different people, and then it's different adult who's you're connecting with this. Oh, this is my brother, my sister, my uncle, blah blah blah. If you go into Balinese compound, you're gonna be confusing about who is this, who is that. It's confusing. But that's so very great. I'm lucky born here. Connection.
We're going to go to Putu in a second, but I'm going to swing around to your wife, Tangelina. So Tangelina, so you weren't born in Bali, right? Yet you married a beautiful Balinese man. Now, the things which are relevant, because I know that you like to tell stories too, but the things which are relevant, I'm trying for people to understand at a village level how life is. So that's the filter, right? So you coming into this system, and Tomy has explained, that system of land, ancestral, family compound, why it's nurturing is so important for the whole of the culture, each generation, right? So what else would you add to that perhaps people from the West wouldn't understand or wouldn't know? What comes out, and it's a personal thing for you, so it's not right or wrong, it's just what you notice perhaps coming in that now you take for granted, but when you first came you're like, what the hell is this? What did I marry into? Right? What did I let myself in for? What would some of those things be? I'm just gonna maybe switch your mic off. Yeah, just leave these ones on.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
So there was a bunch of that. I would say there's a lot of unspoken things that, as a Balinese person, is considered common sense. One of the things that drives me bonkers still is that there's a faucet by the temple, and then there's a faucet by the rice bale, kind of by the kitchen. And then there's the bathroom and the kitchen. And I can fill up a bucket of water to water the plants from the faucet that's by the temple. But if I use that same bucket to mop the floor, I have committed a giant no-no.
So difficult.
That's an example. And Tommy, what's the term for that?
So actually we have like in Balinese side we have things is called sukla. Sukla is mean a virgin. Virgin is like you use something for a purpose. Yeah, it's sacred. It's something like that. That's why like the facade in front of the temple is only for getting in the groundwater, and then for you put in the temple, and then for to the holy water, something like that.
And wash the flowers.
Yeah,
and stuff
wash
like
the
this.
flower or something sacred like a holy things. Yeah. And then the other facade you can use it for washing or whatever is fine.
Yeah. So, and then the Balinese they're very underspoken, and because they're used to being amongst themselves who already understand suklo and they understand all these very particular cultural protocols, there is like little grunts and looks to communicate, and constantly. and like there's a very different sense of what we would call personal space in the Western world. And so that's taken a lot of adapting to, and like getting sensitive to what like those little grunts and looks are, and kind of go like, oh, I definitely like I just did something. And then moving into a Balinese compound, every family is going to have its different culture. I notice like some people, Balinese people, really like their gardens, and they keep their compound very green, and like that's my speed. And then we've been to Balinese compounds where they paving stones everywhere. And that's a little bit what it was like when I moved into this home. And I asked Tommy, can we please get rid of these paving stones because we're baking ourselves. And also it causes a very big deficit in the groundwater absorption. So
yeah, that
Tommy took out the paving stones and planted grass, and Mom and Dad are on board, and the neighbors ripped up their paving stones and planted grass. And so like that kind of influence, and it's a very slow and steady type of influence. And the Balinese are really adaptable. It's surprising. Like some things I felt like I was going to beat my head against a brick wall for years, and then they'd surprise me and like take the adaptation. So I think those are the major things. And then I'm not a normal Western person. I grew up in a very economically depressed rural environment. I grew up amongst cowboys and Indians in rural Eastern Oregon, and so I'm a bit more feral, which makes part of the adaptation easy and also part of it more difficult because I have a more rebellious, independent type of spirit.
Never saw that.
I'm all like, I'm gonna wear my cowgirl hat and my short shorts, and I'm gonna do it how I want. But it's been really cool to bow to this culture and start to like absorb, okay, why the suklo? All right. And now I start to feel it. And I can feel it like as I'm starting to do something that would be suklo, and I'm all like, okay, don't do that. And when I absorb Westerners here visiting, I can understand their ignorance, and I also I feel sad in a way that they're missing a big piece of the beauty of like why would you even come here if you're just gonna race car drive over the culture? You miss it, and there's really very precious things that are being held there, and there's some precious things that I feel that what I observe from the Balinese is that they're missing themselves. Like a lot of Balinese people have forgotten what Trihita Karana is, or maybe they didn't make the cultural translation when modern things like plastic came in and traffic. So I think there's a lot of kind of cognitive dissonance. And I wonder, I'm in great curiosity about how we can all exchange to support the resiliency of Balinese and its transition into the modern time.
You know, last week, I think a few of you were here as well. So we had a fellow called Malo Bandem, Balinese, and we were talking about Saka Museum. Yeah, which is in Jimbaran. And I also went there before that episode to check it out. And about 6 years ago, I had the good fortune to meet a Balinese royal family, a king in Kerambatan, Tabanan. Love Tabanan and Gianyar.
Gianyar.
Gianyar represent.
Yeah. So after about 20 different events, really got to see a little bit deeper into Balinese culture, cosmology, and so much more that I could put words to. Going to Saka Museum, Saka calendar, was mind-blowing for me because all of the things that I'd learnt, Lontar, calendar, and Subak, and so much more, are displayed in a way for the Western mind can really begin to understand what makes this place so special. Right? And also, you know, you come out of there with a different sense of what is my role to play. Right? So there's an added sense I found of responsibility that comes onto the shoulders of people like me, perhaps you as well, because if you spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours there, it changes things. When I'm hanging out with you guys for a couple of hours, you know, in your compound and then going to look at the land, it's a similar thing because I'm like a fly on the wall and I just see life going on, right? Without having a role to play, but just being able to observe and then just see what I see. And there's lots of things that I saw that I haven't spoken to you about, but another time. So again, you know, we're talking about Balinese culture tonight. You know, one of the only living cultures left on Earth. So why can I say that? So I can say that because I've spoken to a lot of people. The way I view it from a Western mindset is a bit like this. If I go to another country, I'm not going to mention Australia, I'm not going to mention American Indians, not going to mention Jamaicans, which I've also worked with, indigenous cultures around the world. But when you go to some of these places and you arrive from the aeroplane and you're met by people in traditional wear and dress, and there's some kind of celebration that's welcoming you, beautiful. But then what you notice an hour and a half later, if you're observant, is that you see them then all taking the clothes off, putting other clothes on and walking to their day job or something, right? So when you're in Bali, you know, again, and this is not dissimilar to what I saw with you, you know, this royal compound in Kerambatan, 220 offerings every day. 220 offerings every day. All right.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. And then when it's a special celebration, it goes up. When you observe Balinese, offerings happen every day, everywhere, all the time. When there's celebrations, there's special, it's all the time. Every day, it's all the time. There's no off switch. There's no, I take this off and I go to my day job. I go to a day job, but I'm still doing these things. So this is just a tiny insight into why I believe and why I've been told by many people which are far more knowledgeable than me that Bali has one of the only living cultures left in the world. Okay, so now we're going to go to Bapak Ketut, and your son Tommy is going to do a bit of translating as well. So I'll explain and I'll ask the question, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, Bapak Ketut, thank you for coming, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. You know, being in this situation during COVID, where, as we mentioned before, how many of you were here during COVID? Raise your hands, actually, if you were here during COVID. Yeah, in the audience. Okay. Less than I thought. Okay. It was a very tough time. And, you know, there were lots of people doing some really powerful, positive things in both directions. So my question then is, What was it like for you during COVID? What was your day-to-day life like? Was there anything remarkable about it? What were the problems and challenges that you were facing? And I'll leave you to translate whichever way you want to do. Yeah.
Oke, Robert bertanya seperti ini. Apa masalahnya Bapak ketika COVID pas kemarin dari tahun 2020? Apa yang Bapak rasakan? Habis itu apa yang susah? Hal yang paling susah yang Bapak rasakan ketika COVID? Entah itu kehilangan seseorang, masalah ekonomi atau apa? Bisa diterjemahkan bahasa Indonesia. Ntar Tomy yang translate ke bahasa Inggris.
Halo, selamat malam. Yang saya ucapkan kepada teman-teman yang hadir malam hari ini. Saya di sini selaku orang tuanya Tomy. Jadinya saya sangat menyampaikan tentang masalah COVID dari tahun 2020. Pada saat sekarang ini yang saya rasakan masalah COVID itu masalah perekonomian. Karena pada saat COVID itu betul-betul perekonomian jatuh. Sehingga apa yang saya rasakan merupakan suatu yang sangat langka pada saat yang saya harapkan pada malam ini. Tapi sekarang ini saya bertemu sama keluarga, teman-teman yang dari luar yang sangat terpukul dalam hal ini masalah perekonomian, karena saya ada sesuatu yang saya beli masalah sawah itu sehingga tidak bisa melunasi suatu utang di koperasi.
So it's like a little bit long for me to translate, but I will make it a conclusion. It's so very long. So actually, my dad is so very difficulty when a COVID time, because I feel as well. He's lose his mom. It's me and my grandma since COVID, and then we quarantine in our house like 14 days, and then after that there's something remarkable for him is he have a loan in the bank and then he cannot pay it, and then until now we still try to finish that things, because the economic in our family is not really good after the COVID. Because sadly, before COVID, we are thinking buy a new property, buy a new piece of land, and then it's connecting each other with our ancestral land. But my dad got scammed, and then that's make him so very sad, and then maybe trauma, and then so very remarkable to his brain, and then that's why, maybe a few months ago, my dad just healing from his diaphragm situation, and then heart. He went to the hospital, and then now he's already healing, and then now it's okay, I hope everything is going well. That's I improvise a little bit, because my dad is so very long talking, and then I'm not really good translator, but I try to do best.
I think you're a great translator, though I can't double check, my Bahasa isn't that good. So look, as you mentioned before, so COVID time, difficult, which made it harder because then someone very close to you died.
Yeah.
Right?
My grandma.
Okay. During that time. So then now what you have is that, because you also look after the temple.
Yeah.
Right, so you're having to do not only your duties, but then the duties of looking after the temple for everyone else as well.
Yep.
Right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that, just so they understand?
Okay. So now in our family, we have two elders in my house. The first is my dad, and then after that is my uncle. It's a two family in our home compound, and then my uncle, he have his own family, and then my family, my dad, he have his family, including me, and then but the responsible in the temple is taken care by my dad, because my dad is the older son, because in Bali, who's the older, they will taking care, the land, taking care the temple, taking care the family. And then that's why like now we are me and then my dad, we try to taking care all the rice field, taking care of the temple every day. It's like at least every day we're doing offering like a 56 offering. That's not too much. Yeah, just chanang and bantan saiban. If you know chanang, or chanang is like something, it's like a flower offering, and then that's we over almost every day. And then sometime only bantan saiban is like a piece of rice with a banana leaf. That you must serve every day, the bantan saiban. But chanang is like optional. If you have, it's okay. If you don't have, it's okay as well. It's like that.
So as I understand it, so during COVID, things are happening, and then there's an opportunity to purchase some land to connect to your ancestral land.
Yeah.
That requires a loan from the bank, right? And then the owner of that land was supposed to then convert the titles and then do the right thing, basically, and then return that to you. So now you own that, right? But that person didn't do that.
No. The person, they don't do that because it's my dad. Because this guy is like his friend, and he's believe his friend. You know, it's like, okay, bro, you can. I want to buy your land, and then after that, you can change the title of the land as my name, and then after that, you give, the certificate, and then my dad is give the money to him, and then at the end, like a few months, and then until a year, and then I asked my dad, how about the land? Oh, sorry, I will talk to you, and then da, and then he tell me like, we got scammed. That's like shocked me as well. It's like, oh my god, I paid this loan like maybe $30,000 in Indonesia. It's like 600 million. That's a lot. That's we got scammed like that much, and then I pay that while I'm working, and then now it's a COVID coming. I lose my work, and then how I can pay that? And then we got scammed. Oh my god, that's so very hard.
So just to, and then we'll move on. But so by scammed, you mean that he didn't change the title, and he spent the money, and he didn't have the money to pay you back. Is that correct?
That's correct. He don't have money to pay us back, like return our money. The guy doesn't have the money, and then he cannot return the money to us. And then we don't get the title, we don't get the land.
And then all this time you're working, Tangerina's working to pay the repayments for the loan, which again the money has gone. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so the understanding that I understood was that the other gentleman was just trying to survive himself, right? Because and this is a question that might be a little bit out of line, I don't know, but because if it happened to me, I would be very upset, right? And in the West, when we're upset, we probably get a bit violent. It happens everywhere, not just here. So I guess my question is that from your perspective, what is the internal process as a Balinese person? Because it may be different from mine. We have a different background, different upbringing, right? But when something like that happens, how do you feel? What do you do? How do you control your anger if there's anger there? Like what does that look like?
So if I describe like how my anger is like, I just go to badminton, and then sometimes I'm not talking too much, including to my family. It's like I'm not talking too much when it's something going on in my brain. That's so difficult to describe for me. Like I'm not so much sharing a lot of things, except I believe that people. And if I don't believe that people, even you're my friend, maybe it's something so very secret for me. I don't want to share with you, for example, except you're my really, really close friend, and then I can trust you. That's what I feel.
And for your father, how does he feel?
Yeah, of course he cannot control himself, and then when he's stressed, he's going to sick. That's it. He's like a go to hospital and then go back home, hospital, back home, and then that is like 3 or 4 times already. And he's like every time he go, and then he's like try to breathing like this, and then yeah. But I tell him like, you can do that. We're gonna finish this. Let's keep going. Yeah, I support my dad. Then, but he's not really talking too much to me. Even he have a problem, and then he just stay in the house in the Bali, and then he's breathing, and then I ask, "Are you okay?" Yeah, okay. But I saw him like try to breathing, and then I tell him like, you need to change your habit. You need to eat better. Like we buy a lot of groceries, and then we buy red rice to like improvise our healthy life, especially for my dad, my mom. They already going old. Then I need to serve something more value to get them help again.
Look, just want to bring you into Tangelina, and then we'll move on after this topic. But again, as I mentioned before, I felt like a fly on the wall when I was there, yeah, and I was just observing and enjoyed it, yeah. So for you being marrying into the family and being a part of this, what was present for you during this time?
Not during COVID, but once I moved in. Yeah.
Well, with all of this which is going on now, in particular.
Yeah. I actually was hoping you wouldn't ask me this.
Remember, by the way, we don't script questions. We allow spirit to move, and the questions come. It's not coming from me. So that's why, not you. So you usually that one question that you don't want someone to ask, it always comes up. It's just, it's not me. It's not me.
Notice how I sat over here. So I'm very sensitive. Everything talks to me. I grew up in the wilderness, so I'm very particularly aware of my surroundings. And
Goosebump.
You okay? Okay.
Take a deep breath.
watching Bapat Katut suffer with this anxiety and this burden of worry that is a conglomeration of shame and embarrassment about something as sacred as the ancestral land, him being responsible for it, and having this happen, and it's now in danger of the bank taking the land if the loan doesn't get paid off. It reminds me of all the places where I was afraid that I was failing the ancestors. And I know what that feels like. And to watch him silently suffer, and like he's sitting at the edge of the Bali many days, laboring his breath, and then, going to the hospital, and we're not sure how he's going to do, and just praying for him, and not really knowing exactly the best way I can support him, and not having enough command over the language and confidence about my position in the house and in the family, has been extremely emotional. Yeah. I have 2 children that adore their grandparents. They love, like, when my daughter hears Bapat Katut's bike come to, and it's like very noticeable. The bike has a big muffler, and so when it arrives at the house, my little 2-year-old jumps up from wherever she is, and she's all kaket, 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 and she's so excited to see him, and she runs out to greet him. And I see the way he adores her, and he adores my eldest daughter, who has been adopted into this family. And it is heartbreaking, the possibility that Bapa might not survive the shame of losing this land. Even the threat of it has been weighing so hard on him, and like I've been applying myself to my work like triple time, and most of my motivation is coming from the desire to make enough money to pay this land off. Our company has been, in a startup phase, so that takes time. And so we're doing a fundraiser because we just want to make sure that this land stays safe. And to be honest, my hugest motivator is so that Kaket is safe in his health and well-being, that this burden comes off of his shoulders. So that's what it's been like. It's been very difficult. Yeah.
Really, truly appreciate you, and really, truly appreciate you can be vulnerable and open, because ultimately, this is part of the healing as well. Brother Tomy, if you can bring our other brother, Bapak Ketua, and just let him know if there's anything at any point he wants to say, feel free.
Ada sesuatu yang pengen Pak bilang, atau apa misalnya dalam rasa terima kasih, rasa syukur, apa diberikan kesehatan, apa boleh bebas, dominasi.
Ya, terima kasih kepada Bapak pembawa acara dan teman-teman yang hadir pada malam hari ini. Saya minta dukungan, semoga apa yang saya harapkan supaya bisa tercapai. Itu yang saya harapkan yang pertama. Semoga dalam pertemuan ini nanti akan bisa membawa suatu kebahagiaan. Nah, itu yang saya harapkan. Terima kasih.
So, in this time, he want to say thank you to all of you, and then he need your support, like to help us to finish this problem, to resolve this problem, and then after that, after this problem fix, and then the end of the day, we're all of us like feeling happy. That's what he said, happy forever. That's because I think he want to say happy, because when the problem gone, and then he's gonna be, maybe I hope he's healing, because he's happy. Now it's like a lot of burden, and then he's still on pressure. I can feel my dad, like it's a lot of things going on in his brain. Every time he going to hospital, I thinking a lot of things bad. It's like, oh my God, I'm too young to taking care of all these things. Yeah, but I hope my dad is going well forever.
I love threes. It may not seem crazy why I'm going to say this, but from what I can feel, it's like there's three things in front of you. Number one is to heal from what's happening now. Number two is to raise whichever sum, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And then number three is the future, right? Because it's not just about repaying the loan. There's something that you have planned that is contributing to the larger whole. So any one of you, I'm looking at you, Tomy, but any one of you can answer. Number one, how much money is it that you need to repay after the healing? And then number two, what is the plan going forward?
Okay, so we are start our fundraising from last week, and then we already raised some money, and then if you can help us, we're gonna raise like a $65,000.
US?
Yeah, US dollar. And then after that, after we achieve that amount, and then we're gonna building the community center in my land. That's my promise, because I will building community center to education all the kids, to taking care of the environment, nature. Like I already started from now, like influence the kids, influence the neighborhood, the village. I try how much I can, and then after that I will building like a community wellness to educate all the older people, like who want to be healthy, like by eating good food. We give education about their health, what happened to you. Maybe we will hire like a pharmacy, or maybe we hire a specialized doctor, maybe who want to come every week to our community or our yayasan, and then they can like education all the older people in my village. That's what I need to do. That's my mission in the future after I raise the money.
Thank you. Sister Tangelina. So we're looking at this video behind, which Tomy is alliterating actually, because as he's speaking I'm looking and we're seeing all the things that he's talking about, education for the community, the next generation coming through, right, and so on. And obviously here, Dharma Ninja Imports .com/donate, and then you've got obviously this QR code here for people at home and here to look at, and we'll give it to the afterwards. But there's more things there, which can you explain about those different ways to support? So there's a So I'll leave that bit to you. Yeah.
First,
just before you go, after this, the questions. So if you have any questions after what Tangelina is about to share, feel free just to raise your hand and we'll bring one of these mics to you. You know how to speak on the mics already now because we've done it already, and we'll go from there. So over to you, Tangelina.
Thank you, Robert. So first of all, to clarify, we need $30,000 to settle out the loan debt. So that goes to the bank. So as long as we have that raised by the end of December, we're in the clear. And the reason we're raising an additional $3,500 is that this can help us.
35,000.
Oh, sorry, 35,000. Thank you. I'm getting excited. So that is so that we can start building for this community center. And yeah, we have 3 ways. I like magic happens in threes. As a student of Taoism and Buddhism, everything's always in threes. And so the 3 ways is we've got the direct donation. We also have a GoFundMe that's in operation with that. And then we have our import business. And so these are local Balinese artists. And also we have artists in Nepal that we're connected to. So you can purchase beautiful art, and the holidays are coming up, and if that's something you participate in, this is a wonderful way to give gifts that have a deep purpose and a great impact. So, and then the third one, and this we're working on developing, but it's the Hidden Gems of Bali Retreat. And this will give people an opportunity to really see kind of like older Bali and have an impact. And we're taking people to places that are off the beaten track. They're not the major tourist areas. And then we'll also be providing a small amount of facilitation for people to discover their own hidden gems within these places. And then we're booking them beautiful places to stay that'll also be directly benefiting Balinese people. So all the way through, it's about community building, about helping people who are interested in Bali as like a place and a people and a culture and a heritage, not just a beach club, to have a meaningful experience, and maybe to find some really beautiful connections and maybe lifelong friends along the way. Yeah.
Thank you, sister. All right. So any questions, feel free to raise your hand. And this question can be about a wider question. I think a few people here, have got that question. I'm probably asking the question as I'm asking you for the question. People are worried about Balinese culture in the face of development in Bali? You know, so that can be a question for Brother Tomy and his dad, for example. So it doesn't have to be specifically about this. It can be a question that has a wider scope. So feel free as well to ask those kinds of questions as well. But as I kind of asked it, I guess I should follow through, right? And this will give you time to think about yours. So Tomy and also Bapak Ketut, right? When you look at Bali now Tangelina spoke a little bit about it before, but I want to get your opinion as well. And you look at culture, we've been through the fact that it's one of the only living cultures in the world. Okay, we've been through some of the, I mean, last week we went deep, cosmology, subak, so many things. So when people ask you, you know, are you fearful, afraid, worried about the future of Balinese culture, is one part to the question. Or perhaps the other part of the question is, what is it that we can do to support and contribute to Bali? What would you say on those two things? And I'd love to get Bapak Ketut's version of that after you answer.
So the first, I need to thinking about how to helping, like keep exist Bali like so many years ago, because now like development is so very quick. It's like what I said before. Now if anybody want to building something in Bali, you need to think about where you need to building, which place you can building, which place you cannot building. Because the important thing is, if you building in a green land, like the government like already allocated for green land, for rice field, or for, how to say it, people?
Agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture, and then you don't building over there. If you want to building something like a villa or something like that, just building in the town is kind of like this already building. Maybe you can restore the place, make it a villa or something like that. That's my concern, if you want to keep Bali like this. Because if not, if you buy land, piece by piece land is gonna building as maybe in the big city, it's no ground anymore. It's like all paving, it's no green. I think it's gonna be like that in the future.
Question. So the other part of the Western brain, and I've spoken to people like this, they're saying, but Rob, there's two parts to this, right? I like three, but let's say there's two. So one part is, yeah, you know, maybe people that aren't from Bali, you know, shouldn't be building on green land, right? If they're following the zoning requirements and so on. Then on the other hand, why is it then that people of Bali are selling their land? So how does that piece work for you?
Yeah, I think that's why I need to building the education center, because we need to educate all the farmer, all the older people, because they still holding the, how to say, they will decide, they will do the things. Even they sell their land, they keep the land, they want to building land for their grandchildren. We need to educate them. We need to tell them how important your land in the future, and then we can give them like a maybe image or mirror for the future. Hey, sir, if you do this, if you sell your land, for example, you will lose your land, and then you have your son, you have your grandson. What you gonna do with your grandson? What you gonna give to your grandson? It's like you already sell your land. What you gonna keep? It's nothing, right? It's better keep your land. It's like just plant something what you can, chili, potato, whatever. Just use it. Don't sell it. Maybe some people, they are thinking about, okay, I'm not selling, but I lease my land. You lease your land for 40 years. Are you sure you're still alive for 40 years in the future? Or maybe your grandson still remember about the contract? We don't know. That's why, like, we need to educate all people. It's like a lot of farmer in my village, they already sell some land because we know they need money. But if you need money, you can do something else. It's like maybe you do extra work, and then you like do charity, and then you can don't sell your rice, for the example. Maybe you can use your harvest and then use your own land, like use it every day. It seems like my family, I'm not really sell our land, our rice, but after I harvest and then we keep it how much we need, we dry, and then we fill the skin up with the machine, and then we eat it, our rice. It's organic, and then it's healthy for my family, and then we don't need to spend money. You can imagine all the farmer in Bali, they sell the rice and then they buy rice. It's like it's not make sense. But that's happened. They sell the rice is so very cheaper, and then they buy the expensive rice. It's crazy.
Can you ask the same question to your father about because he's been around for a bit longer than us, right? What does he see in terms of, does he feel that the development is too much? Does he feel that Bali's under threat? We just would love to get his insight, but obviously with your translation, my brother.
Apa yang Bapak rasakan ketika mungkin dari Bapak kecil sampai sekarang, apa yang Bapak rasakan dari perkembangan teknologi, dari perkembangan zaman yang ada di desa mungkin. Apa yang Bapak rasakan sekarang? Bagaimana perbedaannya? Bisa dijelaskan pakai bahasa Indonesia.
Masalah perbedaan dari dulu sampai sekarang ini, Bapak merasakan sangat modern cara kerjanya aja. Dulunya kan kalau ke sawah aku pakai sapi, sekarang modern kalau kerja di sawah atau pakai traktor tuh, itu sangat canggih sekali dengan modern sekarang. Tapi kalau dirasakan masalah dari hasil yang kita harapkan itu, dulunya kan kalau panen itu betul-betul luar biasa. Sekarang ini kadang-kadang nilai panen dengan jual itu beda sekali sekarang. Karena sekarang kan yang menjual terlalu murah sekali, tapi yang untung dari pihak yang beli itu aja permasalahan dari padi itu.
Yeah, he got a answer. It's about how we are planting the rice from when he was kids until now. The technology is growing, right? And then he said when he was kids, and then all the grandparents, they're using a cow for like mix the land and then fertilizes, everything is organic. And then when harvesting time coming, and then they have a huge of rice, for example, rice, potato, or whatever they plant, they have everything a lot. But now it's like we already using machine, and then the machine containing with the oil and then chemical things, and then now people fertilize with the chemical, and then it's like the harvesting is like so very reduced and so very low right now. It's like you pay a lot of fertilizer. It's like it's not organic. It's like a pesticide or something like that, and then you pay a lot of money, but at the end when the harvest time, and then you get less money, and then that's why like it's so very changed. That's what he said, my dad.
Thank you, Bapak Ketut. Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Blessings. Yeah. Any questions out there?
Any question? Don't be hesitant.
There we go. So Tangelina, if I can help you there. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Okay, so as I'm watching this video behind you, it talks a lot about plastic. And I actually live in Sibang right now, and I feel like even though the community tries to come together, to work with the local Sibang, to work with like collecting plastic and teaching them how to recycle, there's like a huge disconnect between like the local community and the bule. Like we come from countries that, recycling is very easy. There's infrastructure for it. But here there's nothing. And even my neighbor, I want to come over there and be like, can you stop burning? Let me know what it takes for you to stop burning, and we can work together because it's just healthier for the environment. But I feel like they're not very acceptable to it. So I don't understand the disconnect, and I wonder if you have a better solution to approach this.
Okay, thank you. I got it. It's the same problem in my village as well. But the problem is the facility. We don't really have a facility like you put your plastic waste, and then after that recycle waste, and then organic waste, and then some villages they don't have a truck to pick it up to your house, maybe in front of your gang or your alley, and then it's like so very little access, slow access right now. But in my village we have a truck service, we have a schedule for organic and then recycle things. It's already happened. But some neighbor, same like what you said, so difficult to tell them because first they too lazy, and then second they doesn't care. That's the problem. They're so very lazy. If you can thinking taking the plastic they sweep the yard, they see a 3 or 4 piece of plastic, just take 4 seconds, put in the plastic bag, or you have a bucket or something like that, and then bring to in front of the house. The truck gonna take it, and then now I'm already printing all the schedule to telling my neighbor this is how I'm working right now. I'm so pretty annoying with the neighbor because my dad, he's sick, they're burning, and then I'm fighting for that. They don't know what I feel. My wife, she's sick, she's cough 2 months. My daughter too. And then my dad just came to hospital. Some neighbor over there, they burning plastic, and then I go there, hey you, why you burning? You don't know my dad just come to the hospital? Turn out, shut the fire right now. And then they shut the fire, and then okay, the problem fixed. But the next day, they still burn. So very stubborn, But okay, I will try to make it a schedule. Hey, this is truck service, this is schedule, and then every day they have a different things to do, organic day is Monday, blah blah blah, and then just follow this. Instead you burning the plastic, it's so very bad. And then I will do a little motivator to them, maybe hypnotize a little bit. I try to do that. Hey, can you imagine all people healthy? Let's just tell them something good, and then maybe if they can listen what I said, they can pick it up. They can spray the plastic organic, and then they will throw it, and then they got a truck service. That's better. That's what I hope right now. Then I already try. I spend a lot of money for influence people in my village, but it's okay. Yeah, because they're lazy, and then after that, yeah, they're stubborn, and then they don't know the effect of the plastic. And then I always fighting with her. And then about the plastic, how dangerous plastic. Did you tell your husband, your neighbor? Yeah, I tell my neighbor, but they all stubborn, and then I talk so many times. But let's see, because they in their own family is no effect yet. If they see the effect, they will hate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Tomy. You see the fire in him? You feel it? Yeah. I'm there. I'm looking at Tangerine. She's like, go, my husband.
I'm on fire. I feel it I'm annoying when I'm talking like this. I need to do something more.
Man, Bapak Ketut's going, go on, son. I love it. One of the beautiful things about doing 400 plus episodes of this and sitting and realizing that I have one of these and two of these, even though I use this a lot, is that I've come to understand a few things. And I'm not saying I know everything, but I've come to understand a few things. So when I hear Tomy speak, I look at you as a person who cares about the environment, who cares about people around her. You're a beautiful human. Thank you very much, right? So what can you do without burning yourself out? Which is what usually happens. So 3 weeks ago, we had Malati Wason, who's another good friend, beautiful human, right? Bye-bye plastic bags and blah, 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 blah. Youthopia, her mom Elvira, sister Yasmin, great people, great family, and Papa, of course, haven't seen for a long time. This is some advice that I got that was shared with me, which I found really powerful, right? And this is when interacting with local communities as a foreigner. My wife is Indonesian, not from Bali, from Jakarta, right? But this is the framework that was explained to me, and it works. So it goes something like 3 steps. Sorry, I love threes, you know. There's probably 1 step. But anyway, 3 steps. The first thing is find the person in your village, find the Tomy in your village. And you're going to find him or her or them, because they're going to be the ones who say, what are you burning? That's the Tomy in that village. Find this person.
You know, Made, Janur said the crazy person.
The crazy person.
Find the crazy people.
Right? Find. We'll get to Janur after. Number 1. Number 2, because Westerners like me, possibly like you, is this, I see a problem, I want to fix it. And then we rush in like, I don't know, knight in shining armor, whatever it is, and not realizing that there's 2 things: duplication, collaboration. Most of the time we fall for the same bullshit, which is duplication. Instead of saying, well, who else is doing this and how can I support them, we say, I can do this because I have this great background and I can do this because I know how to do it. You might know how to do it, but you don't know the local challenges that exist on the ground. So by going to a Tomy and saying, hey, Tomy, I see you, I appreciate what you're doing, how can I support you? This is my background, this is what I have, this is what I don't have, this is what I'm prepared to give. How can I help you? And have a chat, right? So by supporting that person locally who's kicking the ass out of everybody, pardon the French, is a very powerful way to have real impact quickly. If me as a foreigner goes to my next door neighbor, I mean, he tries it. At least they stop for that day.
Yeah.
And then the next day, imagine what's going to happen if you go over there. Hey, look, stop burning your plastic. It's like, who are you? I'm sorry, who are you? Right? Who are you?
You need to do that.
Right? So find that person. The other one, which is Janor, was on the show. Good guy, good friend. Plastic Exchange Bali, CNN hero, all the rest of that. Part of what people didn't really quite understand was that he's a martial artist by background, and for him it was about changing of habits. It wasn't really about plastic exchange for rice. It was, but that's top level. Go much deeper. It was this. If I learn a new move in boxing, martial arts, whatever it is, if I do it 100 times, I have a slight memory of what it is. If I do it 1,000 times, I remember it. If I do it 10,000 times, it's muscle memory. So now it's not even me anymore. So what is it that he was trying to change? Buy, use, dump plastic. That's the current system. So what he was trying to do is saying, buy, use, sort. That's it. And he understood that in most villages, the plastic is handled in one household maybe 4 or 5 times a day. So he did the numbers already. So that's what he was trying to actually do, which then leads back into what Tomy was saying before. The other thing real fast, the challenges that I've seen with this, and I had lots of people on the show that do this and have done really well, so I'm happy to put you in touch with some of them. Number 1 is supply. Local supply, how to make that consistent and predictable. He's shared with you some of the challenges on the ground already. Number two aspect of that is if you don't sort, it has no value or very little value. So if you're all just putting everything in together, it's no point. So you need to sort it at source. Next thing is then how do you create a system, they have a truck, that is predictable, which is consistent over time, that it can then transfer it from one place to another place. But then more than that, how can you incentivize people further down to do the right thing? So you need to give plastic a value. If it has no value, when I was from the UK, for tin cans, probably here as well, you get 10 cents if you return it. It has value. So what do? You collect the tin cans. As a kid, I was like, I was going around my neighborhood going, oh, tin can. I was a tin can crazy person, running for the tin can. There's a car coming. Pick up the tin can. There's a car coming. The car will stop. It's 10 cents. So by adding value there, you add value further up the chain, and then the rest kind of continues. There's a guy who's going to be on the show, Tobias. You know Tobias. So he's taken him a long time to create a plant for recycling. So it's not technology. That's not the challenge. Technology is all over the world. It's here too. It's those first two parts of the system. That's where the challenge actually is. And if you can, and people have cracked that code. By cracking that code, then you're well on your way. There's a place called Chuluk, which I spoke about before. It's not far from Ubud-ish. And they haven't had any organic waste coming out for years, 2 or 3 years from memory, even more, because they've got, they've created compost holes, containers everywhere in the village. You go there, still today, it's the cleanest village which I've seen. Then plastic, they're already in that recycling mentality, so they've upcycling, recycling, it's all. So it can be done, but by going there yourself and burning yourself out is the way that most people do it, and it doesn't really work. So find a Tomy in your local village, find that Tomy or Tangelina, right? And how can I support you? And go that way around. It would be the advice that I would give, just based upon conversations that I've had with people.
Okay, and I have one more question. So if I see a chani and it's like at the end of the day and there's some plastic in it, is it appropriate for me to grab it and recycle it, or it's not appropriate?
So you mean chanang?
Chana, yeah,
Oh,
chana,
okay,
sorry.
chanang. So actually, chanang is not supposed to be like that. Chanang is only the coconut leaf and then the flower. That's it. If people put something on the top, it means that's not chanang.
I usually see a lot of plastic candy.
Yeah, plastic candy. That's like people want to do something extra. Like I just watching like in Instagram last time, and then I heard a story about chanang is like this. Chanang is only coconut leaf and then flower. That's chanang. If you put something on the top, it either like a cookies, even no plastic, that's not chanang anymore. Because a chanang is something holy from the nature, is fresh, nothing else there, even cookies or whatever. It's not, it's mean not chanang. But you can do this thing. It's like if you see that, and then after people already done that, not after people like over that and then you take it. No, don't do that. They will like maybe they mad to you, but after they over that things, and then if you see and then, oh, this is not really good, it's like a plastic things, and then whatever, you can take it, and then you can like take the candy out, toss it, and then just take the plastic somewhere until you see like a bean or something. Just throw it like that. That's you can do.
Okay.
I tell my family, like, don't put any plastic in the offering from now. And then it's like, okay, and then my mom is do it, but some neighbors still do it because it's like a cost money. For what? You just make it offering for your God and then make you happy, and then to make it less expenses, why you buy something more, like buy cookies, buy candy for extra expenses? God doesn't care with your candy. Thank you.
Other question? Anyone?
Any question?
Hey, Robert. My friend Laura couldn't make it, and she said she wanted to ask a question. And she asked two questions, and it was the first one you already asked. And then the second one is people who've been in Bali for a while have have observed a phenomenon in which the island is choosing who stays here and who does not. Sometimes people who really want to live here simply cannot. And other times, people who don't even consider living in Bali stay here for decades. Guilty. Considering that the island has its own intelligence and Mama Bali is choosing these specific experiences and people driven by greed to have a significant presence in Bali, why do you think Bali is choosing that? So I actually responded to her in a voice message because I thought it was a very deep metaphysical type of question to consider the spirit of the land. And this, I think, is something that the Balinese people had a lot more connection with before modern times. I feel that. I feel that they felt the land a lot more. Maybe they had more time to listen. And I myself can hear the land. And when I lived in Bali, or when I lived in Hawaii, I had very, very deep conversational type moments with the land. I would consider it like the Mahadeva of the land. And so when I considered this question, I was like, well, if it was just me considering this and answering this, what I would say is that life is like this, that for unknown reasons we're given, a deck of cards, and then we have our hand. And so Bali's like that. It's a bit of a microcosm of the world. And so we have some of this development that seems really ostentatious and obnoxious. It doesn't even have beautiful architecture. To me, that's like, why bother? But it exists. And everything in the cosmology of life exists for a reason, whether we understand it or not, whether it's we agree with it or not, whether it's what we consider is the right thing or not. And we're here to, as spirits in a human body, to we get to choose how we respond to all these different circumstances. And so when let's say Bali is choosing to have this experience of overdevelopment and lots of beach clubs and lots of noise and all of this, maybe that is so that those of us who are coming here with a deep desire to love and preserve Balinese culture and heritage, that we're being called forth to step up and be really resourceful and really resilient, and to empower and inspire ourselves to reach out and touch the Balinese people and see like out of curiosity, what's going on here? What do you guys want? Is this what you actually want? Do you know what you want? Because every time we make a choice to build on agricultural land, it's displacing water, it's having all these ripples of impact. So then there's all these opportunities for connection and growth and collaboration and bringing together people from many different countries even to solve these issues and create something that we're really excited to participate in. Like, why are we in Bali? What excites us about being here? And maybe we can participate in that and preserve something that is under threat. So that would be my answer to that question. I mean, I'd be really curious actually what Robert would have to say, since you've been here for a while, and of course my husband and Kaket.
Brother Tomy.
So I don't really feel about when people they have to stay here or not. But I have experience. Is my friend is your friend as well. It's like a lot of bad things happen to her, and then I don't know why she's doing good, but it's like somebody stealing her phone, and then she's crashed, and then a lot of things going on to her. She just moved here, and then like 1 month, and then I don't know why my life is so very worse in here. She's so very careful, she's so very good, polite, and then she follow the rules, and then it's like a bad things going to her. And then after that she's going to Thailand, and then she's fine there. She live in Thailand. And then some people like they like a disrespect or whatever, and then they stay here for a long time. I don't know why. This is like opposite things. But I hope all the people in Bali, they stay here, they like bring good energy, and then they can building Bali in the future, building to be a good Bali, not bad Bali. That's the thing.
Do you feel like asking your dad this question?
I don't know, but I think my dad, he don't have any experience about that, because if you're talking about something local, maybe he know, and then he doesn't have so much friend from outside of the country, but he working in the hospitality before as a, how to say it, like a gallery guy, and then he said he tried to marketing the art, but he's not really making friend. It's kind of like that. And then I think he's not really socialized with the tourists before. It's since 1916 until 28 to 2000, I think he working, and after that he's retired. He's focusing farming and then do the business like a small warung. It's kind of like that.
You know what I found to answer that question with all the different, great question by the way, the different conversations over the years is there's one thing I think it comes down to, which is what I always share with people if they get me in that zone, or if I just feel I need to say it, you know, and that is, you know, what can you contribute? That's it. So if you're coming here for a week, enjoy, come back, spend money, go to warungs, go around, enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
If you're going to come for, 2 years and, and you're thinking about going deeper, then go deeper. And it's not difficult to find people around. It's intention, Now, if you plan to live here, then I'm a little bit harder on these people and say, what is it that you're contributing? You've chosen to be here for a while. What is it that you're contributing? Now, that doesn't need to necessarily be a big thing that I've set up this and we're doing this and we're blah, 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 blah. Contribution can happen in very small ways as well as very big ones, and it's what is within that person's range, appetite, skill set to kind of do. But so long as they think in terms of contribution as opposed to what can I take, and then within that, my feeling, maybe this is more of a positive way of looking at it, is that I find that those that perhaps aren't in line with that perhaps are the ones which maybe Bali's not for you. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to go through hardship or challenge or struggle, because I've been through a lot of it. People see me smiling and I'm a happy guy, right? But if you speak to my wife and our kids, they'll tell you some stories, right? All right, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I am. Hopefully they're not watching. Oh no. So they're probably watching. It's okay. I love you, darling. My wife, at some point, maybe 3 times or more, was seriously, strongly considering going back to Australia. We're not from Australia, but that's where we met. I spent 25 years there. She's from Jakarta, right? But I would lie if I said that it hasn't been hard, because it's been really hard. And at times where I've had to ask myself, am I doing the right thing here? I have kids. I have a wife. Is it just me doing life for myself? Right? In other words, is it just me being selfish that I want to be here? right? And I'm going to put these guys through crazy stuff because I want to be here. Is this what this is? And having that conversation with myself, and not always liking the answer, by the way. However, each time I went through those experiences, what came forward was, no, I know I need to be here. So I don't know if that's part of your journey. It was part of mine. You know, now things, it feels like after 8 years of solidly putting stuff in, that it feels like there's been a big turn. Not a small one, but a big one. But a lot of that has come down to me doing the work. Internal work, not external. Because the internal gives you the external, right? So deeply spiritual work, if you want to call it that. And I find that Bali has supported me in that process, but has also challenged me too. But at the end of it, my feeling is that I'm exactly where I should be. And what is being created, like there's something being birthed here within me that I have found that I haven't been able to do that anywhere else except here, for example. And what's coming, I feel is going to be very powerful. It's already coming through, but that would be the answer to that great question. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. She was apprehensive to ask that question. Like her first question was like, "This is definitely appropriate, but this, I don't know about this, but I feel like I need to ask this." And I want to just relate to what you shared, which is like the difficulty of marrying a Balinese man. Like Tomy and I, the way we relate is so easy. It's healthy, it's growth oriented. I'm down forever with this guy. Marrying into his family is a whole different other situation. And I like his mom and dad, easy to get along with as well, but like the whole thing, like he's got 21 cousins, and like Bapak Ketut has 11 siblings, and those are all people that are tied in with this temple. Just to be clear, it's not just him and the auntie and uncle, it's the whole family. And so when we have Odolan and stuff, you can end up with 200 people in your house. And so like that level of activity is also what I'm signed up for. And over this time of getting really integrated, there's been so many times where I'm like, I just want to pull the plug. I don't know where we can go, but like, let's just go. I need a break. It's a lot of energy, a lot of unspoken energy, and then there's times like this when we're really chewing on something that's logistically difficult to navigate, and we've chosen, this is our roots and our heritage, and so like a piece of art, I can't not do it. So I'm in. I got skin in the game. 2 kids.
All in.
Now, I think that all in. I think that might be the takeaway. But look, as we begin to bring this one to a close, so there's a few things I want to leave you with, and a final question for each of you is, and I'll wrap up a few things in a second. So, if there's anything, tonight's topic is about saving ancestral land. Okay, that's why what brought us here, and the conversations that happen outside of that are conversations that are supposed to be had, and happy that we've had them. So my question then, left to each of you individually is, is there anything else that you want to say, that you want to leave people with, given that I'm going to talk for about 2 minutes and kind of summarize some things that we've spoken about today. So just give yourselves a couple of minutes to think, is there anything that I want to leave people with? So while you're thinking about that, about 2 minutes or so, I just want to thank everybody here for coming in person. And again, the gift about this is that you get to meet each other, you get to contribute to the show by asking questions, by your attention. It's a frequency that's created here, right? And again, you asked 2 questions questions, but I guarantee you that other people here would have had one or two of those questions too. And by you raising your hand and speaking into it, you help them as well. And that's what I love about this format of being in person and online. Now, thank you, Brother Guzman. Every week I say it. Please, a round of applause for our Brother Guzman, because he does everything very well. Thank you, my brother. Round of applause, obviously, which we'll save till afterwards for our guest. But Brother Bapak Ketut, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. My brother.
Thank you.
And my sister. All right? Thank you very much indeed. And look, so to save ancestral land, so you know what the target is. It's 30,000 to pay off the debt, and 35,000 to then build and start to educate through this community center. And you've seen that the education isn't just, for foreigners, as Tomy happily shared, and thank you for sharing that, because I don't think we hear that often. But there's also education that Tomy and the family also see that is for Balinese as well. So it's both ways, right? So it's 30 and 35. Dharma Ninja Imports, and DH Dharma Ninja Imports /donate is one way you can donate. Another way is by the gems, the gems of Bali, again going into off the beaten track. An internal journey as well as an external one, I think is what you're really saying there, right? So you get to touch what is truly here in Bali through taking that experience there. And then obviously through Dharma Ninja Imports, they are preserving Balinese culture through its artisans. So that's also by buying artwork, from paintings to sculptures and experiences, right? So that's that whole point there, okay? So just keep those things in mind. And then, as I've said, next week it will be a press conference here. You're all invited, right? About 5 o'clock, and there'll be refreshments, there'll be bits of food and drink, there'll be people, there'll be journalists interviewing me, I guess. No, there will be. and also there'll be, after that, a show of some description, which I believe will end up being a bunch of people who have been on the show before, kind of hot spot, hot seat, that type of thing, which will be a lot of fun. And then the following week, which will be the 10th of November, it is the only time we won't be here. We will not be here at Tropical Nomad. That's the 500th episode, and that will be at PIB College in Tabanan. Way to Nuanu, you'll get it. I'll give you information, and that will be 200 seats auditorium. You're all invited. It's going to be a mix of interviews. It's going to be a great crowd, entrepreneurs, Balinese, Indonesian at large, foreigners, 10 different market sectors. It will be interesting, right? You're going to meet some other great people as well. So feel free to come to that. That information will go out, I would say, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. But that will be for next week, okay? So you're more than welcome to come to both. There's no charge for either. I'd like to keep it free. But come and join us, right? It's an invitation. And when the message goes in, please tell your friends, share the message, and let's get that 200 in, okay? Now, that's my bit. So now I'm going to come back to you. We'll go ladies first and end up with this fellow over here. So we've spoken about it. Good timing for this one. Save Ancestral Land. We spoke about what they can do. So if there's anything else that you would like to add to that, please feel free. And then, Brother Tomy, if you can ask your father, though I think he understands it already, but if you ask your father if there's anything further that he would like to say, that would be great as well. And then we'll finish with you. All right? Sister Tangelina.
Awesome. So if you noticed when you came in here, there's a sample of one of our artist families. They're from Tampak Sering, where the viral Ogo Ogo, if you're here in Bali, you've seen the viral Ogo Ogo. I'm a huge fan. So right across from where that statue is the shop for one of our jewelers. And so you can check out the art that I brought here. That's a sample. We also brought a couple of gifts from our land. I powdered up some moringa that I harvested this week, and I bagged up one bag of tulsi. plus some bottles of healing medicine, colloidal silver and magnesium spray. So that's an immediate way that you guys can support us. Is 20% of the proceeds from all of our art and anything that we sell is going to be going directly to this land fund. And then the second thing is that I am not really a business person. I have a lot of different skills, and I'm looking for someone who can partner with me to do this great deed of fundraising. I've got like 5 event ideas, and I've got marketing ideas, and I would love to link elbows with somebody to implement these things. So if that's you or someone that you know, please connect me. I'm really humble and I'm really transparent. I'm easy to communicate with. So I'll tell you what I can do, and I'll be really clear about the stuff that I can't do. So it's not a mystery. And then the third thing I wanted to say is that something that's been revealed to me is that really opened my eyes to something very precious in Bali, which is that we're surrounded by enormous amount of value, enormous amount of like fertility and vitality in the land. And then the culture holds this value in such significance. And Bali lives on the edge, right? It's a volcanic island surrounded by water. And that's a huge reason why the culture is the way it is. And so something you might consider or ask yourself is, am I able, like, how much more can I feel the depth of value that is around me within me? And then that's a great place to see where it is that you connect with this, and can ask your Banjar leader to see like who's the crazy person, or how can I support? Like, I see this thing, I want to support. What do you guys need the most? What's the gap? Om Shanti 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 Om. Really appreciate y'all listening and taking the time, and for people who are listening on the other side of these lenses, please feel welcome to connect with us through the comments. And Suksuma.
He already said before, already said thank you, and then now.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so because Robert told me is there any something he want to say, my dad, and then I asked him, and then he already said thank you before, and then now he not gonna say anything. Okay. But for me, it's like this is more serious right now. It's more serious. It's like I would like to say thank you very much for all of you here. You already present here in this Monday podcast over here, and so very grateful with all of you, and then we hope all of us like a no end connection, like we still connect, like even I don't know where you come from, and then I don't care who you are, and then I don't care what's your job, but I just need your connection, because I don't know who's your friend. And then maybe you have a billionaire friend, you have a scientific friend, we don't know that. And then I know you're a musician, I know you're an artist, I know you're a designer, whatever, but I don't know your connection. And then you know what I'm done right now. I'm doing education things, and then I want to building my yayasan, my community center. And then if you can help us, you can support us with sharing this information that is so very meaningful. And then you can donate something, or share the link, and then you can put your cash investing, or you can join the retreat. It's a lot of way you can do. She already tell about our program. And then the same like what she said, we are here at the Dharmasari. We have our apps, we have our page, it's a GoFundMe, and then it's so very transparent over there. It's like who's people donating. You can see as well how much we earn, and then how much we take, how much we use, and then we will report. And then I'm gonna make it my YouTube channel as well for this community. It's not for my own, because I need a support from somewhere else. It's not only for all of you guys, and then I need a support from other things. Maybe I creating YouTube, and then I connecting more to the government, and then to get a support. Because if I do this only for all the friends over here, and then I think we're gonna stuck, because I know my friend limit is like, you have like a limit friend you can share. Maybe you earn maybe 1 or 2 friend maybe per day, maybe not per day. You have a limit of connection as well, but I don't know who should connect with. And then you already see this is like a emergency video I made. Like I backup all the video in my laptop, and then I like digging up my laptop, and then oh my god, because my phone is so very full right now. And then okay, I try to do my best, and then I ask Robert, is enough, is good, it's okay. I try to do my best, and then next day, tomorrow, I need to continue my project. It's like put the schedule every single house in my alley, in my gang, in my environment. But one more time, thank you very much for your help, and then for your donation, and then please connect to us. And then we already put our link over there, and then our QR as well. If you want more detailed information, you can check there, or you can ask me, you can ask Tench, and then you can ask Robert as well. He know about it.
You know, just before we go, as you said, donation is financial but also non-financial. Just keep that in mind. As she said, she's looking for help marketing and how do you launch this. There may be different skills that you have that they can then use to monetize. So just think about that. For now, thank you very much, everybody. Round of applause. Dharma Ninja Imports. See you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.